Hello everyone. Welcome to the first video of many showing you how to make custom Fire Emblem Heroes maps with my assets. I gathered most of them. I've had help from a few of my friends, but for the most part I collaborated them together. I made them, I cut them out from the game's maps, I did everything. Some credits, as funny as it is, go to high definition Minecraft resource packs for the background images for the maps. But getting on into it, I'm going to be showing you how to make your custom maps like these ones. Now these ones are the more advanced ones. These two are rather simple. This one is a little advanced along with this one, and I think, yeah, this one's a little advanced too. But that's no worries. What makes these ones simple is because it's just edging with a few props and cuts. But these ones are a little bit advanced because you got this little faded layer here, and you got the fade here too. And here, this carpet, I actually had to extend it. As you can see right here, this little bump is a little bit lower than the rest of them. I could have easily made that indistinguishable, but I don't see a reason to. But anyway, okay. So in the download link that I'm going to include in the description, you'll get this Fire Emblem Hero Showdown map maker assets. Don't worry about what I just said. Just know that this is the folder. It's going to be website, upcoming website. But okay, so to get started, I recommend you use GIMP, because GIMP is what obviously I'm going to be using in this tutorial. It's the thing that I know most, and it's what this thing is designed for. Okay. Assets. Okay, first go to terrain. Choose a terrain you want. I think for this one I'm going to be doing a desert. I haven't done a desert one yet. Just click and drag inside, and it'll open it for you. And here it is. So I will be listing off shortcuts as we go along to certain things that you're doing. Like the zoom is control, and then your mouse wheel is the quickest way to zoom. If you don't have a mouse wheel, you can hit this little magnifying glass, click to zoom in, hold control, and click again to zoom out. Easy as that. But okay, we're gonna start with the map. Let's make yet another castle map. But before we do that, you drag in your terrain. Good. Then you want to drag in this grid overlay. This, you don't have to follow this entirely. It's just for your reference of where everything is at. This is how big Fire Emblem Heroes maps are, so you can get a good look at what you're doing and where stuff should go. Now, depending on what background you're using, you're either going to go to paths or section. If you're doing a grass map, you can go to paths, and you can drag in paths that you want and put them in different places. But we're not doing that with this one. Although you could, just make sure that if they have like flat corners right here, that they belong in the corner, or you can flip them around and do stuff with them, place them in multiple different locations. But for this one, we're going to go right into sections. Sections is where everything is. Now what I mean by that is, well, yeah, this everything. Bridges is where all the bridges you will see that I have at the this current point in time. Yeah, these ones are for like the Muspel themed, the castle themed, which is a little bit wider than the rest, and the plains, which are just the normal ones that you would see all around the area. For this one, I think I might want to do this one. So I'm going to drag in my bridge here. You can resize it and scale it if you want, but I recommend you do multiples of 9 or 90, because that makes it easiest to scale it to the grid and configure it and everything. But okay, so our width is 170, that needs to be 180, and our height is already 270, so that's perfect. Now this will take up exactly 2 by 3 squares. I'm going to place mine around right here. right there. Alright, so now that I got that, that means that there's obviously going to be some kind of split here. To do those, you can go into sections and go to cliffs. Here you'll find many cliffs that I will be updating as this project goes on. But you can use these ones that I have right now. Let's see, I don't want to use a generic one. Let's see how this one does. Trial and error. Doesn't feel too bad. Make sure that this goes underneath your bridge, but it still makes sense. You see how that's a little weird right there? Let's make sure. No, excuse me. It's not like that. But because you have no restrictions here, you don't have to worry about this. You could easily take your eraser tool and cut that off, as if nothing happened. Now, actually I might replace this bridge with something else, because it doesn't really fit the theme of this. So, that's what I'm going to... I might do a wood bridge. No, I'm gonna do, yeah, I'm gonna do a normal wood bridge right here. Now, you aren't forced to resize these, so don't worry if you don't want to. That's fine. I'm not gonna let you down if you don't resize them, because it really doesn't matter. So, there I have one bridge, and if I want another one, I can easily just duplicate it. This is the duplicate tool, or not the tool, the button. Yeah, another way you can do it is right-clicking and hit duplicate layer, but that takes 4 clicks, so I usually don't do that. You can duplicate it again, and just like that. That looks okay. Yeah, it doesn't look too odd. So just like that, we have 2 little sections here. Now, to get rid of this background here, this little place where the water should go, unless you want it like this, unless this is supposed to be a pit or something, what you would do is I'm gonna merge these down. That way we can manage them all at once. I'm going to use this lasso tool. I'm going to click and drag, and I'm going to draw over these little cliffs here. When you get to something right here that doesn't have a cliff, usually try and stay within the shadows, or just kind of predict where the line is supposed to go. And then you just keep doing this, and then you wrap back around here to the front. The frontwards ones are a little bit more difficult because they tend to have less lines to base your movements off of. It's okay, I guess, but just kind of winging it here, as I should be, because it doesn't need to be pixel perfect. Most likely, people are just be playing your maps to play the maps, so they're probably be paying attention to fine details. But if you're like me and you really like pixel perfect fine details, and go ahead and do what I'm doing. For the most part, it can just be rough. Now, where these accents are perfect, like you see a little green still here from when I cut them out. You feel free to fix them if you want, but this is just what I have to provide for you guys. So, go back. As you saw, I finished it up here, and I went back to my initial starting point when I started this. After that, you want to make sure you have your background selected, and just do Control X, and that'll cut that out. And now you have a backdrop. Now let's say you want water in this, or you want lava, or whatever you want. Go back into the assets, sections. Go into water lava, and find the water that you would want. I'm going to use a dark pattern for water. At this point in time, there's nothing you can really do to animate the water, so I'm going to just do it like this. Just drag it underneath the desert one, and now we have this, and here we go. we now have a basic separation with 2 bridges for movement. And we could get a better look at it if we just take off the grid. It looks pretty good. I like that a lot. I recommend you keep the grid overlay at the very top. That way you don't, that way you can see where your things are. Like if this grid overlay was on the bottom, the lines go beneath it, and it's just kind of hard to tell where it's at. So I keep it on the very top so you know how many boxes it's taking up. What else do I want to add here? I need some trees, so I'm going to go into I'm going to go into decoration. I'm going to go into nature, and here we will find our trees. Now, the best trees for our scenario here are the palm trees. I'm going to drag in a palm tree. This one seems to be a little messed up, so I might have to redo this one. Maybe. But I want a palm tree right next to the water here. Remember that you're in free control, so it doesn't have to be locked to the grid. You can move it as close to the water as you would like. Again, I am not perfect, so I obviously missed that. So yeah, this thing is going to be close to the water. For the trees though, I do recommend you keep it in one area, because when they get configured into our website, let's say if you have a tree right here, then these 2 spaces would be taking up a tree. Well, it would be logical to make them both take up a tree because they're in between 2 spaces, and that'll be weird because horse units won't be able to pass through here or here, and that'll just make a big mess. So I recommend you try and keep it relative to 1 box, but you're allowed to explore a little bit outside of that. Okay, we have 1 tree there. Let's just add a lone tree. It's not near the water, so it doesn't have anything around it. Somewhere right here. And then perhaps we can add a double tree over here at this top section. Okay. So now we have this. This is a very simple map. This is probably something you would see in the story mode or a paralog for something, I don't know. But let's say you want to make it a little bit more detailed, not so pasted and everything. So what you could do is you can go to here, filters, light and shadow, you can do drop shadow. You can mess around with these if you want to, but I recommend you keep it how it is. You do that, and that happens. And it kind of looks like it has some texture behind it. This is obviously just the default drop shadow. It's not really meant for this kind of thing, but it does the job well, so I wouldn't recommend, not recommend. You don't really have to mess with it that much. It just gives it more depth. That's what I like about it. Okay, but another part of it is like the assets, like as you can see right here, I didn't cut out this part of the background for the sand. It'll kind of just paste that over, and it might look a little bit funky, but you're not going to be seeing that much of the. You're not going to be seeing that close when you're actually playing the game. You're not going to be zooming in like this. And you're mainly just going to be seeing it like around this resolution. Defense tiles. I'm going to add like 1 or 2 just to show it off. Where are they? Sections. They're in defense tiles. Since we're in the desert, you can go to the desert ones. These ones are ones that have been taken out of desert maps, so it makes sense to be there. There's other ones that are in the castle that you would find, and then you have ones obviously from the plains that have grass underneath them, and all that other stuff. Then you have the 2 kinds of trenches, the outside and the inside ones. But we're going to use the desert because I don't think I need to explain. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to see what I can do with this one. I'm going to put it relative to right here. These ones don't have to be like precise either. Just make sure they're in the general area. Don't make them too out of place. Where is... I want to move yeah, if you want to move multiple objects at once, hit these link buttons right here, and then you can move them both together. If this was unlinked, I would be moving one but not the other. Control Z is undo, by the way. So I'm going to move this over here so that we can spread out the trees a little bit. Okay, where is that, where is that defense tile? Oh, it's right here. I should probably move that up a little bit. Okay. Now that has a drop shadow to it, so it looks smoother. And I feel like I should I'm gonna add a trench as well. Trenches are into defense tiles in the trench area, as I went over. I'm gonna add a trench right over. We're gonna add it right here. And let's say you want to make this a little bit sandy, or like give it a sandy, I don't know, texture. This is like the first advanced thing I'm gonna go over, okay? Do a new layer. Actually, you don't have to do a new layer. I recommend you duplicate the layer, and then you alpha to selection it. You Control X to cut everything off of it, so that way it's just a plain layer now. And you give it, you go into this color picker tool. You choose a color off the desert floor, you go back here, and you paste it. So now you have the trench thing that looks like that. You turn that back on, and you turn down the opacity of this. That way it looks a little bit sandy. Looks like also that one pixel got lost here. So I'm going to change its dimensions real quick to match. There, that's a little bit better. So it has a slight brown tone to it now. You can merge that down, and now it is 1. So there's that. This is very simple stuff so far. I will be going over advanced things in the next video, such as the decorations. Specifically the floor ones, because you can do certain things to the floor decorations to make them longer, and you can cut stuff off of them, but it does require a little bit of work. And just be careful not to get lost. But this is what we have here for all this stuff. I do want to go over one more thing though. Let's say you want to put an Austin monument right here, but you don't want that green color. Fortunately, you can change the color any way you want. There's 2 ways you can do it. Make sure you have the Austin monument layer selected, go to colors, you can do colorize, and then from there you can change it to be whatever color you would really want, depending on what you slide it to. Like maybe I want this color of an Austin monument. That would fit the theme. And then I could do that. Or what I could do is I could do colors, colorify, and then I could choose a color this way. This works a little bit differently from the other one, but you'll get similar results. But that doesn't really fit the theme like overall, so I'm not gonna have it there. So this is it. This is the basic map making tutorial. I hope this helped you. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'll try my best to help you out.